Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So for today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you some tips and advice on how to deal with fatigue, especially if you're like me and you have ADHD or depression, anxiety, one of those kinds of things. Not that those things are like similar, but they have a lot of similar side effects and symptoms. So fatigue is definitely one of them that I have struggled with for a long time, and these are some things that I do or I have found out from doing research or my previous studies that I just wanted to share with you guys. So fatigue is basically a general term for like tired all the time or more tired than you should be, and it basically can make you feel drowsy and sluggish and that you've just got no energy, even though you feel like you haven't necessarily done anything to like cause this lack of energy. That's just how you feel. And then this can also cause you to have memory problems, concentration problems, be in a bad mood, really irritable, and it's just not a nice thing to deal with. So my first piece of advice would actually be to go see a doctor if you can and get tests done to see if there's something going on internally that could be causing the fatigue, because a lot of like deficiencies, like iron deficiencies and vitamin deficiencies, that can cause fatigue. And when I got my bloods done a couple of years ago, I found out I was actually very deficient in vitamin D. I mean, I could have told them that myself based on my terrible sex life, but anyway. So now I take vitamin D gummies because I am a child and I don't like swallowing big tablets. But if there's something like that going on, or even diabetes, things like that can cause you to be fatigued and to just constantly be lacking in energy. So you want to rule any of that out, and then if it does turn out with something like that, you want to be able to treat it and do something about it. So my second tip, getting kind of an obvious one out of the way here, is make sure you're actually getting enough sleep, because I have a habit of not realizing how little sleep I am actually getting, because I'll look at the time when I start getting ready for bed and then I won't realize how long it is until I actually fall asleep, until I actually put my phone down. I personally need about 8 to 9 hours sleep a night because, as I said, I am a 23-year-old child. But despite the fact I know I need that much sleep, I will still end up staying up way too late because I just refuse to let the day end. I don't know why. So on the topic of sleep, this video is actually sponsored today by Rise app for better sleep and energy. So a big thank you to them for sponsoring this video, and I think it might be helpful for some of you guys as well, especially if you're on this video and you're dealing with fatigue. Basically, it's an app that tracks how much you sleep and uses that to calculate your sleep debt and also your peak energy levels during the day. So the amount of sleep you're getting in a night or over a few days can actually affect you for up to 2 weeks after that. And if you're constantly not getting enough sleep, you're going to be accumulating something called a sleep debt. And then it also has a page where it shows your energy levels throughout the day. People tend to have 2 peaks of energy throughout the day with dips in between, so it shows you when those are likely to be based on your sleep pattern, and then you can plan your activities or the jobs you need to do around that to make the most of your time and your energy that you've got. The app does come with a 7-day free trial, so if you're at home like me right now, or you just always work from home anyway, this would be a great opportunity to try it out and see if it helps you plan out your day better, use your energy better, and get better sleep overall. And if you use the link in my description, you can also get 40% off of a annual subscription if you decide you want to continue using it. So be sure to check the link in my description if you're interested in that, and thank you again to Rise app for sponsoring this video. So my next tip would be establishing a nighttime routine. So your internal body clock uses external stimulus, things that are around you, to regulate your circadian rhythms, which is basically a fancy way of saying a 24-hour cycle. The most obvious thing that helps regulate that is daylight and nighttime. Daylight tells your brain basically that it's time to get up, it's a new day, you need to be awake right now. And when it starts to get dark, it tells your brain that it's nighttime, and it starts to release sleep hormones like melatonin. This is also another reason a lot of people feel extra fatigue or extra depression during winter, because there's just less daylight and the nights are a lot longer. So you're spending a lot of your time fighting against the fact that it looks like it's nighttime outside, even though it's only like 5 o'clock. So by establishing a set routine around going to bed and going to sleep, that's another way of training your brain to know when it's time to start getting sleepy and to start doing all those sleepy hormone things that it does. I'm trying to make this like easy to understand. I don't want to overcomplicate anything. So for an example, part of my night routine is I really like listening to classical music, piano music. So I'll put that on when I'm starting to get ready to bed and starting to wind down. I'll turn all the brighter lights off and just try and set a bit of a different atmosphere so that it can trigger my brain to be like, yep, okay, we're going to bed now. And like I said, with turning my lights down, another important thing to do is use the brightness and color settings that your phones and computers have now. For example, they pretty much all have a night mode, which makes the screen a lot warmer and a bit dimmer, and that's also going to help prevent your brain from still thinking it's daytime because of all the bright light and white light that you're getting in your eyes. You know, I'm not going to be unreasonable and be like, you are not allowed to use your phone after 8 p.m. if you want to have a good sleep, because who does that? Who isn't on their phone in bed until like longer than they should be? I think everyone does that. Using those like brightness settings and the dimming settings, you might as well be doing that. So my third tip is actually to exercise, which I know can sound a bit counterintuitive. If you're feeling like you've got no energy, why would you go out of your way to use more energy? But it's kind of like the phrase, use it or lose it. Like, if you're always sat down, you're never really doing any walking, you're never getting up and moving, your body just kind of gets used to that. It's never going to be trying to expend energy that it doesn't think you're ever going to use because you never use it. But not only that, exercising and doing something that is fun and kind of gets your heart rate up a bit also releases endorphins. I'm sure a lot of people have heard of that by now, but they make you feel good, they make you feel better, and they also release energy. So by using energy, it's helping your body give you more energy and overall lift your mood. Obviously, you don't want to go overboard because you can end up just doing more damage than good if you do wear yourself out. You want to sort of increase it gradually. Do things that are fun. For me personally, I joined a pole dancing class about 1.5 years ago, and I love doing that. Like, I can be in a really shit mood the whole day, I can feel really tired, but getting into that room with my friends and the music and just starting to use my body and move around, my body gives me the energy. It comes when I need it. So, and then I tend to feel a lot better afterwards and for the rest of the evening than I did beforehand. So even if you feel like, oh, I really just don't want to get up right now, I'm so tired, I couldn't do anything, like, just go for a walk, get some fresh air, do some jumping jacks, like, just get yourself moving a little bit and see if it actually makes you feel a bit better. I personally do like going to a class because the other people around me and being told and shown what I have to do sort of helps me stay focused and motivated. So I would recommend like a dance class or an aerobics class. Martial arts is fun, I can definitely recommend that. I did taekwondo for 7 years, so something like that can just really help lift you up. My next tip, if you are struggling with some kind of mental issue or mental disorder, is to try and seek treatment for it if you haven't already. Whether you need therapy because something you are thinking about is stressing out, or if it's a physical issue that can be treated, it's definitely worth trying to do that, because so many mental illnesses and disorders cause fatigue, and treating that might then help you treat your fatigue. So for me personally, I have ADHD, and I have been struggling with like just really bad energy crashes after doing like any small activity. I'd be up for like an hour and feel like I needed to go to bed again already, and it was just so awful, feeling like nothing I did changed that or made that easier. I am on medication for ADHD at the moment, and I am not crashing in the afternoon anymore. So it is worth looking into and going to a doctor about it. Leaving these things untreated and leaving mental illness untreated is definitely something that's probably causing you a lot of stress in your life, a lot of anxiety and a lot of worry, and they're all sort of connected in how it works in the brain. You're using energy just sat doing nothing when you're constantly worked up and anxious and stressed out. Like, that's wearing you out, even though you don't feel like you're physically doing anything. So some ways I found to reduce stress in my life is, first and foremost, cut out the unnecessary crap that is causing you stress. Just with everything in your environment, you need to make sure that you are looking after yourself and you aren't letting people cause you unnecessary stress and unnecessary problems. You know, you are allowed to go look for a new job if you have a boss that's just constantly making you feel like crap. You are allowed to cut people off if they are making your life miserable. You don't have to stay in situations that are making your life difficult. Like, you have the power and the ability to do that and put yourself in a position that's gonna be better for you. And if you can't do anything about your situation right now, make sure you're spending time actively trying to relax after those stressful situations when you come home. Again, for me personally, I'm always listening to music to make myself feel better. Taking a shower, drinking a hot drink. I don't like tea or coffee. I'm a strange British person, but I like hot chocolate. Watch something that makes you laugh. Watch something that's sort of calming. Doing things that you're, with the intention intention of just relaxing and being nice to yourself to try and balance out the effects of the other shitty things going on around you that you may not be able to control at the moment. If you're very physically worn out, you want to make sure you're giving yourself plenty of rest. If you are on your feet every single day, all day, then, you know, come home, take a bath. But if you're more like mentally stressed out, I like to go for walks. I'll put headphones on and I'll just zone out and like try not to really think of anything. Like, thoughts will come and go, but it's about just sort of trying to be calm and just mindful and just letting things just blow over you and just enjoy the walk, enjoy the breeze, enjoy whatever you walk past and see, and just try and forget about whatever it was that was stressing you out beforehand. Oh, and pets. Pets are great. I have a lot of cats and I love cuddling them. I'm pretty sure that's like a kind of therapy, like cuddling pets. So if you have pets, go give them some love. So my last tip is to make sure you are actually keeping yourself hydrated and keeping yourself running on things that are going to give you energy. Your body needs certain things. It needs certain vitamins. It needs certain nutrients to actually do what it's meant to do. So that's going to be different for everybody. Everybody's body reacts differently to different things, but people have more intolerances to food than they realize, and that can actually be making you feel a bit shit and a bit sluggish. So I try to just be more aware of what you are eating, and if there's something in it that could be making you feel bad, try and see if there's any patterns between what you eat and how you feel afterwards, how you feel the next day, monitoring how you're treating yourself and what you're putting in your body, and then the effects that has afterwards. And it's super important to be hydrated. Again, if you have ADHD, you'll know it's really easy to forget to keep on top of things like that. It's hard to keep on top of those things that don't seem important, but like, they're important. I was chronically dehydrated for pretty much almost a decade, and it was not fun. Constantly just tired, dizzy. Oh, it was not good. But I would just forget to drink, and I didn't realize how little I was actually drinking as well, because I would go out of my way and drink something, and I'd drink it all in one go and feel like, wow, that was a lot of water, and then forget that I need to drink again for like 2 days. So my advice would be getting a bottle. I have this one here. It is a litre, and I basically have trained myself now over a period of months and months to take this with me every time I wake up in the morning and go to the toilet. I refill it, and then I keep it on my desk and just try to go through it during the day. And then when I go to bed, I refill it again and try to drink half before I go to bed. And then I've also got some left if I wake up in the middle of the night or when I wake up again. So overall, I'm trying to get through 2 of these, which would make it 2 litres a day. But like, I'm proud of myself if I get through 1 litre, considering I used to drink like this much in a glass probably a day. So this is a great improvement for me, and I would highly recommend doing it. And just don't give up. Like, you're going to forget about it for a while if you have ADHD as well, or you're just forgetful, or you're depressed and you don't really feel very motivated to look after yourself. Like, it's going to take time to form that kind of habit, but it's a habit worthwhile forming. Being dehydrated comes with a hell of a lot of problems that people don't even seem to realize. It can cause you to have memory loss and just bad concentration, bad brain function in general. It can cause you skin problems, hair problems. It can also trick you into thinking that you're actually hungry, so you eat more food than you actually need. And what would happen with me is that I'd be so dehydrated that I'd be really tired, so I would just go take a nap and then wake up feeling even worse because I've just gotten more dehydrated during my nap when I should have just drunk some water. So that is all my tips for this video. I hope it helped if you really had no idea where to start with dealing with being tired all the time or having fatigue. So hopefully this just gave you some guidance on what to do or what to try if you've been struggling with that. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you feel like it, and yeah, thank you again to Rise app for sponsoring this video. All that information will be in the description, and yeah, I will see you in my next one.